He's talking. I hear nothing. Start to panic. Not too much lag time, okay? Why I like short lag time is because if there's a story being told or a joke being told, and then they get to the punchline and everybody laughs, and here I am just finishing, and then you hear one person, oh, wait a minute, did he just not understand? Or is the interpreter that slow? Well, I like to try to keep up, so everybody can laugh at the same time. Yeah, that's funny, yeah, that's funny. And everybody's doing it where the deaf person's not going. Everybody's laughing. Oh, that's why. They might even miss it. Everybody's laughing. They don't know what. They're looking. What did I miss? Oh, the interpreter was just a little slow in getting that information out. That's why I'm not crazy about a long lag time. Keep everybody on the same page. Again, what you hope for when somebody is speaking is lots of handouts and overview projections. PowerPoints are great. Those handouts make it great. Try not to let that time be an adverse factor. Get that message, get it down, get it done, because there's more coming. That's that confidence factor. I'm actually going to ask if there's any questions about anything we talked about so far. We have a few people here. Is there anything that has come up that you've thought about? Mental aspects. Nothing at this time. Okay. We'll go back to the code of professional conduct now. Number 3 says we conduct ourselves in an appropriate manner to that interpreting situation. Well, that goes back to experience. Have I been there before? Do I know who this is? Do I understand what the subject might be? Sometimes it helps if you just know how to get into the building. With all the security factors that are involved, as we discussed in part 1, since 9/11, a lot of people lock their doors and hire whacking hut. And you have to get through these folks that make minimum wage trying to tell them, I really have a meeting in 15 minutes. Well, we got to see your driver's license. Okay. Here. Meanwhile, somebody's inside going, where's the interpreter? They're not here yet. At the gate. Trying to do mental telepathy, you know. Probably didn't say that right. If you know the situation, it always helps. If you have a team who's been there before, take that information. Now, remember the confidentiality thing, though. If you just happen to run into an interpreter out there and you know they did that job before, or you think maybe they did, sticky now. You can ask, did you work with Joe at McDonald's that time? That person who did the interpreting before, under these rules, should say, I can't talk about that. And that is the right answer. But who hired you for the job? Now that'll help. For instance, here in Memphis, Deaf Connect being the agency, you can ask as much as you need here. We'll tell you what we can tell you. Obviously, we'll tell you when, where, for who, at what time. Is that a win? That's part of the win. But when it comes down to what was discussed, we don't take notes. Here's one reason why. In the legal situation, let's suppose you've got an interpreter who is sitting back taking notes because they want to be ready when it's their turn. Taking notes. Okay, I've got Joe who did this and Mary did this. Let's see, this person is named Jim I've got all these names and I've got them matched up to their role in this situation in some legal issue. Whose notes are those? Are they yours? Probably not. You are recording a court case. It may belong to the lawyer if you're working for the lawyer in that team. It may actually belong to the court themselves. So is taking notes a good idea? Maybe not. Because you could be subpoenaed on those notes. If you have no notes, you can always say, I don't remember. I have been called to go to court before about a situation. I interpreted for someone who was accused of child rape. I did the police interview. This person was more hard of hearing, okay, as opposed to deaf signer. But when we got there to the police, he decided to clam up and be deaf. Speaks well, could have spoken for himself, but decided not to in this situation. What am I going to do? Hey, why aren't you talking? He's got enough pressure on him now. Why should I make it any worse? I went in. The policeman saw that I knew the person. Yes, we know each other. We should be fine. We proceeded to make an audio copy of the interview. Now, this is the reason that I ended up going to court. Check this situation. So how long did you know this girl? My response to that was, well, throughout the interview was quite a number of those things, what I call filler moments. When we as hearing can't think of that word or can't think of exactly what to say, and imagine if it's a policeman that's asking questions about something as serious as that. We tend to go, well, the question asked of me in court was, did he say, well, I said, I didn't see the notes. I don't make notes. I don't know. We could show you the transcript. Fine. Look on page 46. See on line number 15, well, Yes, I probably said that. I didn't write this transcript. What happened to the case was they got it thrown out because they said the police did something else. It wasn't me. But I still feel a little bit funny about how that situation turned out. Don't think the guy got away with it. He did end up pleading guilty to a very similar charge. But you see how important it is to be able to go into a situation and feel that you have confidence in what you're doing. I didn't think I did anything wrong. Okay? He was doing one of those, and I filled it with an or let me see or something. We were audio taping. I didn't want them to think he's not doing anything. He was. He was looking for an answer. And I wanted to show that in the audio taping of that interview. Yes?
So is that appropriate to add the filler?
Is it appropriate to add the filler?
When you can tell they're not answering. So what do you do?
Well, I think it was appropriate because that's what I saw.
Right.
I can't read the mind. I wasn't trying to. And I sure didn't want to. Not in that situation. Is he thinking about the situation of child rape, or what does his lawyer say, or whatever? I don't know. His business. But my thought was, if he's doing this, or he's doing this, the policeman is also sitting there looking at him going, well, he's doing something. So I thought it appropriate to say, give me a minute. I think, okay, here's what happened, this. So if you're asking me, I think it was appropriate. I've got some consensus around the room on that too, so I don't think it was wrong at all.
Okay.
The attorney had an issue with it. There's always, in legal world, there is right and there is legal. There is law and there are rules. Two different things, they all have to somehow mesh together. Also, in the middle part of interpreting for community assignments is exactly what we're doing right now. And that's called professional development. We have an extensive program that started around 1997 in RID called the CMP, the Certification Maintenance Program. It's pretty cool in the fact that we can talk about anything, but we do try to focus on what is interpreting. We try to decide what things has come up that's just been all skewed. Oh, we all love those easy appointments. You go to the doctor, it's a routine, just take the medicine, no change, good, bye, see you next time, and you leave. But you get that appointment with the policeman talking about child rape, you probably get back in your car and scream a little bit when you get done. You go to the hospital and see that baby born and it doesn't move and it's dead. You scream when you get back to the truck. So sometimes you need these workshops to kind of put your heads together a little bit and go, okay, this sure was crazy for me. Was it crazy for you too? Would it be crazy for you? Do you think you can handle it? Did I do something wrong? That's what we're doing right now. You have to have 80 hours of this kind of stuff in 4 years to keep your certification. What does certification mean? Well, it means you're supposed to be perfect the first time and get better from there on. And you're not through with training either. That's why we do it. There you go. CMP was an idea that was brought up, like I said, in the 90s to establish a better forum for professionalism. So when you're talking about mental, you're definitely talking about professionalism. How do we conduct ourselves when we go somewhere? How we dress. I know we're talking about that in the physical part, but again, the mental part is how other people see us. What is their perception of what we're doing? You know, just me with a tie and real shoes, I get kidded about some old shoes I've got. With a tie and a jacket, I walk in, oh, I get treated so much better than I used to when I just went in with t-shirt and blue jeans or something, you know, some kind of situation like that. You get far better respect. And when you get that, you feel like, oh, okay, I am something. I'm okay. All right, I'm ready. And your confidence level, again, is up here. That's where you want it. Because now they feel like they've got somebody who is good at this, probably got a little bit going up here. You know, got about 2 or 3 points of my IQ up here. I'm hoping for 4. And if that agency knows they're paying for the interpreter, They kind of like seeing the tie. They like seeing the professional dress. They like seeing the punctuality. They like hearing the professional tone of voice. They like seeing the thing go smooth, better than they thought it would be. And guess what? I might need you again. Not that we're out there trying to make a resale, but if they do need us again, you definitely like for them to go, you know, that person that came before was pretty good. I'd like to have her again. We'll check her schedule. Just a moment. The mental aspect of what the deaf person gets when you come in and you act professional, one, and hold that thought. Code of professional conduct, I like to add 2 tenets to what was already read. And those 2 are not written. These are Randy's, okay? The 8th one would be to be the advocate for the deaf. It used to be in the old code of ethics, but it's not there now. For some reason, we had to put down a rule to respect people. Okay, personal opinion. I still like the advocacy part. And 9, to be the friend to the deaf. Look, even if it's that person who had the child rape charge, that person still might be the only one in that whole jail that does not have anybody else to talk to. Is that even human? Sometimes we're the only ones who can communicate with them. I really do expect an interpreter, if I'm the one that's deaf, to at least give me a moment. You doing okay? You talk to your mama? Any other deaf people in jail? Now those are not things that endear me to this person. Do I want to be friends with a child raper? No. But am I being human in that essential, you doing okay? Nothing wrong with that. Oh God, bring me back to where number 1 was. I'm holding number 1. What was the thought there? Another Andyism. But when these things come up, I just want you to be sure that you have confidence in your own ability. 1, 2, that experience is a driving force. It is so important in what you do next time. Don't worry about what you just did and what appointment you have to go to next. This is the moment. Take this one, make sure it's right, and move on to your next crisis. We okay on time? Okay, all right. We'll start closing this part by just getting back to something that I did miss the last time in part 1, talking about warm-ups. When you get that warm-up, well, let's just demonstrate what I like to do. And most of the time, I'm just getting in the door. Hi, how you doing? I'm Randy. I'm here to interpret for you, okay? All right. Well, get the introductions done. And so then, well, you'll have to sit down and wait. We're waiting for XYZ. So while I'm sitting, my first concern is my hands. So I'll do some stretches. I'll pull back gently. Maybe I'll even spread the fingers out a little bit. Looks worse than it is, y'all. Doesn't hurt. If you don't do it with me, that's fine. But get them loose and get them, kind of unknot them. Pop them if you have to. But kind of get yourself to where you feel like, okay, I'm ready. But also, it's a relaxation technique. So try to relax. Take in that breath. Look, I've been doing interpreting now for 30 years, and I swear, and I don't know if you noticed it about me or not if you've worked with me, but before I go into anything, I take that breath. Try to just clear my head of all the other junk so I can focus in on this one. This junk is now. Take care of this. I've got an ease to worry about. I want to thank you for participating in part 2 of this 4-part series. The first part was physical, this one was mental. Part 3 will be involving emotional aspects of community interpreting.